Yes, it has been a long time since I've done this, but here we are. It's time for some updates. Like, a lot of them. If you're new to this channel, my name is Mike. I'm an internal medicine physician. I almost said resident, but it's been like 2 years since I got out of residency. Ugh. I am big into fitness. I am big into the simple parts of fitness, like not the optimization things that you see all over social media. Like, do the simple stuff and you'll pretty much get there. And my life is weird lately. Yesterday I posted this on Instagram and a lot of people thought I was sick. No, not sick, just, going on vacation and trying to lose a few pounds like most people do. Not starving myself and not really sure why people thought I was sick. I don't think I look sick. I think I look tired, but that's just my face. A little bit of backstory on that, we're moving. Today's Thursday. A week from today, we drive to drop the dogs off at various homes because we're going on vacation a week from tomorrow. We get back a week and a half after that. 2 days after that, we are out of this house and we spend time in Airbnbs for a couple weeks before we actually move into the new house. Oh, so much. I spent most of the day doing moving stuff. It's almost noon and I haven't really done anything else. But from a dieting perspective, it's kind of nice doing it this way because I only have like 4 things I can eat in the house because I don't want to waste food and everything else is going to go bad. So I might as well just eat the same things over and over again. And yeah, I like the stuff, but it's nice to have the same thing planned out and know that I'm in a calorie deficit, but also not being miserable because that's a fine line. But it makes it, easy to maintain, and I promise I'm not sick. One person told me that I should take more insulin, and this is one of the many reasons that I don't give medical advice over the internet, even though I am a doctor. If I did that on a whim, I would be dead. So yes, we're going on vacation, then we're moving. This is all happening very quickly. I'm very excited for this vacation. We're gonna go to Europe. We spent a lot of time in Europe. This is a different part of Europe. I will, let's just say I'm bringing my drone. So there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. That being said, let's talk dogs, because one of them is chewing on my hand right now. This is Marcia, Marcha, of course named after a Boston Bruins player, but you know that about me already. I have a photo of her that I'm going to put here when she was like 2 weeks old, so I've known her forever. Kyrie met her like the day after she was born, and here she is. She's, I want to say 7 or 8 months old now. She is very fast. She's a lot of fun. Of course, my love for dogs is directly proportional to their size. You know that with the wolfhounds, but she's a good dog. That little thing over there, that's Millie. We got her for free. This is her 3rd home. She's technically a rescue. She sleeps sometimes. Like now when she's quiet, she's great. But she is always underfoot and she screams a lot, which bothers me. But, Kyrie loves her, so here we are. You'll also notice, if you've been paying attention for a while, there's just gates without anything blocked off. It's been a full year almost since the big guys got in a fight, and the last time they actually had a negative interaction was actually Bruin's 4th birthday at the end of February. And here we are towards the end of May, and they've actually gotten a lot better over the course of the last 3 months. It's been very obvious. I think it's because Bergie is now 2 and change, and he's starting to get more chill. Bruin, for whatever reason, is much happier, and he's much more playful. Actually, sometimes he's just a spaz. But we've decided that, over the course of time, we removed all the blankets from the big, giant barriers, so now they can see each other all the time if they want to. Sometimes they go into, the bedroom or whatever and go away from each other, and sometimes they sleep, they're not that far apart from each other. Bergie's over here, Bruin's back there. They have not had any negative interactions when all these things are down. They have often actually wanted to play with each other. They'll both kind of either do their little howl thing or kind of bark, but not really, when the other 3 are playing. So that's a good sign. Unfortunately, all of the stress of moving may set them back a few months, but we've come so far over the course of the last 11 plus months now that we're hopeful that this goes away soon. One of the things I've noticed about moving is how much stuff we have. The last thing to go really is All these t-shirts have to be sent back because they don't fit. They are too tight up here and kind of awkward in my stomach. Not like too tight, but just kind of weird. And then the rest of my scrubs. So I recently re-signed my contract with Figs for another year. They send you a lot of stuff. I don't know how often they send me things, but it's very often. And I've been with them since 2018. Yeah, since 2018. Holy crap, it's been 5 years. So they sent me a lot of stuff. So I went through them. I kept I kept 20 sets of scrubs. This is like the last that needs to go in the box. You can see that I kind of go for like the more neutral colors. There is a color over there that has not been released yet, so I'm going to keep it a secret. And you can't see it, so actually there's two of them over there. But everything else here has been released, so I'm not afraid of them. But I honestly just gave a ton of them away because it's like, how many of these do I need? There are only so many colors that I really would wear just because it's my style. Not to say like one is better or worse than the other. I just had so many, and I just had to like, okay, why am I taking these if I'm just gonna not wear them? So I gave them a bunch of them to like doctor, nurse, and everybody, friends. I don't think any of them made the Goodwill bags, and I've brought literally dozens of bags to Goodwill over the last couple of days. It's amazing how much crap you just kind of get, especially considering our new house is like 12, 13, 1400 square feet smaller than this one. It's going to be interesting when we unpack because I'm pretty sure the next house doesn't have nearly as much closet space as like this closet. I'm kind of being facetious, but it's not actually, might be true. Hopefully it's not super obvious that I'm using this time to procrastinate packing up the rest of my office because it is in shambles. But here's the deal, Nashville for us just kind of wasn't it. There was a whole lot of things that we thought of when we were moving here that made a lot of sense on our way, but now after 2 years, never mind. The first was, wouldn't it be great if there was somebody with this big house that everybody could go to for all the holidays? And while that still remains, that's not really what happened. When we lived in Chicago, it was an apartment. My sister has an apartment. My parents have an apartment down in Florida. Kirie's parents have a house up in Michigan. When we lived in Chicago, it was like close to them, which is like a 2-hour drive, and it was kind of far away from my parents who lived in South Florida, and still do. So we figured that coming to Nashville would be right in the middle. Turns out, while it's geographically in the middle, it's not like in the middle for travel. Instead of a 2 hour and 15-minute drive to get to Michigan and a 2.5-hour flight to Florida, now it's an 8-hour drive from Michigan and about an 8-hour travel day from Florida. Yeah, it's a longer drive from Michigan, and it's a change planes situation from Florida because Nashville doesn't have the biggest airport on the planet. Chicago was kind of a hub, so there's that. On top of that, we thought that Kirie's parents were going to live with us for quite a while. They lived with us for a handful of months. I don't remember how many because you blink and it's over. So we turned the bonus room of this house into this giant, in-laws suite, I guess, because they wanted their own space, and we thought that's your own space. It didn't really happen that way. So now the 4-bedroom house that we bought is a 5-bedroom house, so that's kind of nice. But it's 5 bedrooms for what was initially 2 people and 2 dogs. I know I talked about the dogs fighting. We figured that the backyard was going to be great, so we didn't really mind living on a very busy road. A highway, you might even say. Turns out, now that we have 4 dogs, the 2 little ones like to run around a lot, and the big ones need to go on walks, so we go on walks twice a day. Again, on a very busy road, highway you might even say. Makes it not ideal. Now, we don't live that far away from a lot of parks, which would be great if Bergie got in the car. If you've been following me for any length of time at all, you know how big he is and that I have to front squat the 175-pound creature into the back of Kirie's car so we can go places. Not a lot of fun at 5 o'clock in the morning. What's more, he still hasn't been upstairs in this house. Like, he'll walk up the stairs, like the front steps to go into the house. He'll walk up the stairs from the deck to go into the backyard, but that's like 4 or 5 of them. He still has not been upstairs in this house. This is the only house he's ever known. I know I'm gonna sound like I'm poo-pooing on Nashville a lot, and I'm sure it's got a lot of good things for a lot of people. It's just kind of not our thing. Like, nightlife for us, like, we enjoy live music, but we also like to go to bed early, and, driving to a place where we're gonna have to, like, if anybody wants to have a drink, then the other person can't because driving. and we don't really want to spend all that time either waiting for an Uber for like 15, 20 minutes because we're technically in Nashville, like downtown Nashville, but it still takes forever to get anywhere. Or like, one versus the other, I don't know, it's just not worth it for us. So we often don't do that. We go out to dinner like rarely, and even then it's like, Kira doesn't leave the dogs at home for more than 20 minutes. So neither of us thought we were gonna miss the water as much as we do. Like, I'm from big water. I grew up in my backyard was the Atlantic Ocean. Kira is from Michigan and spent a lot of time on Lake Michigan. Her parents had a house on Lake Michigan, adjacent to Lake Michigan for a while. And yeah, we miss big water. We miss that when it's hot, at least there's a breeze. Here, when it's hot, there's not really a breeze. So you just kind of stew in your own juices. So that's not a lot of fun. What's more on that subject, you still get really cold. I still got plenty of use out of my winter jacket, and freezing at, well, I guess 5 o'clock in the morning during the winter. Yeah, fine, like I get it. But you'd think you'd trade like, okay, yeah, it's really hot in the summer, but at least it's not frigid in the winter. It's like, no, we still get ice storms and snow and all that good stuff. So that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. So we're moving. I will tell you eventually where we're moving, but not today. I'm more looking forward to going on vacation. Again, not going to tell you exactly where, because, I don't really need people following me. But I'm gonna take you along for the ride when I'm actually there. So that'll be fun. All right, the movers come in 2 days. I really should finish this.